Hi guys, Gary here. Today we're doing a tutorial on how to set up your Google Ads campaign, taking you from the start, from sign up, all the way up to the finish. So let's get started. So first what you're going to want to do is obviously set yourself up a free Google Ads account. So head over to ads.google.com, click start now, log in with a Gmail or create a new one, set up your Google Ads account. Then once you sign into it, it's going to come up with your login entry box, and you're going to have a little link around here which is going to say skip to expert mode. Once you've done that, you're then going to end up having a Google account which is going to look similar to this. So let's get started. Today the client we're going to be looking at is one of my electrical clients, so we're going to set him up his campaign for emergency electricians. So let's get on with it. So the first thing we're going to want to do is, when you're in your Google Ads account, you're going to hit new campaign, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set it up for leads, and then we're going to do a search campaign. So if you're running ads for, say, YouTube videos, you would obviously pick video. If you want your ads to be placed like shopping ads, then obviously you choose shopping. Display ads is basically ads showing up on other websites, for example, like Gumtree or eBay. You'd have your ads like image ads running on the side. But for now, if you just want your straight search campaign, for example, if someone was typing in emergency electrician, these ads here is what the search ads are. So stick with the search, click continue, and then we're going to want to do website visits, phone calls, and let's just change this now. So we're going to put in their number, so 01425 638 918, and their website address. Let's just copy this in as well. Lovely. Press continue. So we're going to want to change the campaign name to emergency electrician, as that's what we're going to be targeting. So you'll have two options here. You'll have the search network. This is basically literally what people are searching for on Google. So this is to land here. Then you've got the display network as well. Generally, for something like this, if you're a tradesman, if you're plumbers, electricians, roofers, you are only going to want literally the people that are searching for you on Google. They're not going to be interested if it just pops up on the side in a rare case scenario. You just want the people that are literally searching for you. So you're going to want to untick that and leave that like that. You're going to want to go show more settings. This is where you can change your start and end dates, but we want the campaign to run indefinitely, so we'll leave that there as well. You want to scroll down, so we are only going to want to target the people in, or who show interest in, the targeted locations. So this client is, we're going to say for this case, they're targeted in Bournemouth. So we're just going to want to target the ads for people that are based in Bournemouth. So, and we're going to want to leave the exclude on for people who are in our excluded locations as well. So we're going to want to go enter another location, go advanced search, and we are just going to do a radius around Bournemouth of, let's do it around 10 miles. There you can see that's not bad at all. And then we're going to save that, and we're now going to leave languages as is. Audiences, you can come back that at a later date. Audiences works well for shopping sites. So let's say you're selling a set of knives. You will eventually be able to add audiences targeting maybe people that are who are chefs and who are interested in chef videos and cooking, just to really narrow down your audience. But for now, we'll leave that as is, as anyone could be needing an electrician. For the budget, we're going to set a budget. We're going to start off with £10 a day. I recommend usually £5 to £10 a day to start off with. You can always scale up your campaign, but you can't scale down, so there's no point putting a big budget in when you start up your Google Ads campaign. So we'll leave it at £10 a day. Now with the bidding, we do want this to be conversions later on, but I will need to show you that in another video. If you're a brand new business and you're starting out and you want to try out Google Ads for the first time, you're just going to want to go down to clicks here, and we're going to change the bid strategy to maximize the clicks for what we're spending. Okay, another option is, if you really want to control what the cost per clicks are, then you could change it to manual cost per clicks, but it's really an old school way of doing it now. You need to just maximize clicks for at least your first couple of weeks to a month of your spending on your ads campaign. And then what we can do is later on, we can then, once you've got tracked conversions, and Google will then know how much it's cost you for a click. For example, if we set up conversion tracking on the website for when someone's filled out the contact form, what will happen is over time, once for the first few weeks to a month we've spent money, we'll then know, right, the keyword for emergency electricians Bournemouth has cost, say on average £5 a click. If we know that the client has had to spend £15, so 3 clicks, for example, to get a conversion, then eventually once we change the bid strategy to maximizing conversions, Google will take your daily budget and it knows exactly how much it's going to cost roughly to convert, to get a conversion, and so it will spend your budget and target an audience who are most likely to convert. But for now, maximize clicks will do, and we can set a maximum cost per click bid limit as well. So let's say a call out charge for the client is £30 an hour for an emergency call out, and say on average they're there for 1 hour. We don't want to be spending obviously £30 a click because the business is then losing money. We don't really even want to be spending the £10 per click because the budget's going to go in 1 click. So for return on investment purposes, it might be that for an electrician who is earning £30 an hour, it might be he'd be willing maybe to spend £2.50 on a click to get a conversion. So we'll put in the £2.50 there. There's no point of spending £10 a click because it's not going to be viable for his business. We'll leave everything as is. Now we're only going to set the ad schedule. This can be up to you. Maybe you want to run Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday. But for this business, what we're going to do is we're going to run it all days, and we're only going to target the emergency work. So these are the people that are calling up and they're not even going to quibble around pricing, or they're not going to check out 4 companies and wait for 4 different quotes. They just need it right now and they're going to call up. So those sort of people will obviously be the people in the evening up to very late at night. What we're going to do is we're going to do up to 11:45. So we're going to get the evening people. And the ad rotation, leave to optimize. Google will automatically optimize these and it will show the best performing ads depending on what the client enters. The call extension, I've got the number in there, so this basically means that when you put in a keyword, you're going to be looking, your telephone number is going to end up popping up here sometimes as well. So that's good. So you want that, and then you want your site link extensions. So site link extensions are basically these here, like contact us, electrical wiring. These are basically sublinks, and you want to show around about 4. So let's add in our site links now. So we are going to create subpages. We're going to have one for the About Us page. You can fill in these descriptions as well, and then what will happen is sometimes it will show, you will sometimes see on Google Ads, you'll have a sublink with a description, but generally for most ads, just having the title and the link works. So we're just going to get the link now. Let's just get the About link. Cool. So you'll just put in the About Us and that, and then we're going to take another page. So let's go electrical, and let's copy that link address as well. Electrical, put that in there, and then we're going to create one for, let's go lighting. Let's copy the link there, and then let's pick another one. Let's go the contact page, as we'd like people to be able to get there quickly as well. There we go. So we've got 4 there. You can add more. We could add on tons for recent projects. We could add in more for fire alarms, etc. But for now, 4 will do, a minimum of 4. So Google, if you add more than 4, Google will likely say, let's say you add 6 or 8, Google will end up picking 4 out. But so yeah, stick with 4 at the moment. Press save on that. So there you go. We'll have the 4 selected over here. Then you're going to want to now go over to call out extensions. So let's create some extensions then. So let's go through. So this is where you can put bold statements about your business. So for this electrician client, we're going to be talking about fast response, NICEIC approved, trusted, professional, all these sort of basically statements. So we're going to want to add anything from about 4 to 8 of these in. So let's just do a few now. So check a trade approved, NICEIC approved. Let's do bespoke installations. Let's do free quotations. Then we can add a few more just down here. Let's do fast call out times. And then we can do competitive rates. And then let's do qualified engineers. And let's do 24-hour call outs as well. So then we'll hit save on that. Now the location extensions, so if you have your Google My Business set up, so I recommend doing that before you do Google Ads. As long as it's all linked under the same Google account, you'll be able to then add in your location as well. So you'll have your listing here and you'll be able to add that. So what will happen is when someone looks for an electrician, your address will then sometimes appear around here on your ad. So people will then say they're looking for emergency electrician in Bournemouth. For example, you would then see maybe under here it would have the address of that business. And that's how it works. So customers will then know that you are definitely a local business. If you're not a local business but you want to target a certain area, then I wouldn't worry about adding in location extensions. So there's a couple more extensions we can add in. You can add a message extension, for example. So let's say I don't mind having, I'm just going to add, for the case of this, I'm just going to add in my number here. Let's do a new message extension actually. So let's go United Kingdom. Let's just pick the number, blah, 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 business name. So we'll just put the business name in here. Sends the text for more information. And then basically what will happen is there will sometimes, for users on a mobile, they'll get an option just around about here, which will be to literally click a button to message you. So they're good. We're not going to put it on for this client, but essentially that's something you can look at as well. The more extensions you got, the better sometimes. So you kind of test with it, but really the majority ones will be to have your call extensions with your telephone number, your site links, and your call out extensions. So another one we're going to add is we're going to add a structured snippet. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a service catalog. So for like say for a tradesman, you're going to want to do a service catalog here. So this would where you can, as you can see an example, it's showing oil change, smog check, tire alignment. So we're going to add in loads of different services he does. So lighting, CCTV, and alarms. Let's add in some more. Let's just go fuse boxes, and you can obviously add in as many as these as you like. Rewires. Let's go fire alarms maybe. Oops. Let's add that in. Let's do another one. Let's do home automation. Again, Google will likely just show maybe like around 6 of these, but they will pick out which ones at random, which ones work best. Let's do servicing as well. Let's save that. And let's go save and continue. And when that loads, brilliant. So now we're on to the ad groups. So ad groups is kind of like your sub layer of your campaign. So for example, in this case scenario, we're targeting emergency electrician work. And then we may do for the ad groups, we may target by area. Another way to do it is we may just have the campaign as say Bournemouth, like the location. And then the ad groups, we might lay them out as, so one ad group would be emergency electrician or emergency call outs, and then another call out might be pat testing, and another one might be fire alarms. So you're basically just creating them in subcategories so the ads reflect the keywords within that category. So as we're keeping this relatively simple, we're just going to recall this emergency electrician. And as you can see, it's already populated a ton of random keywords. So what we're going to want to do is we're just going to put that in here, and we are just going to find some keywords for ourselves. So let's go emergency electrician. Let's search. Google will give you a ton of ideas on what people are searching for. So let's just go through some list. You want to keep them relatively small. You don't want to have 50 keywords in an ad group when you start, because you're not going to have any idea which keywords are working, not working, which are too expensive, which are cheap. So you need to start off slow and build up for this. But for now, we're going to pick a small amount of keywords. Let's go 24-hour electrician, emergency electrician near me. Let's pick some of these. These work really, really well. So let's just go through this. Urgent electrician. I would say let's go with a few more. 24/7 emergency. There we go. So there we go. So we've got a few there. Now what we're going to want to do is you'll see here you've got match types. So the way the keywords are entered now, this is a broad match. This means that Google will basically mix and match these keywords, and no matter if someone typed in 24-hour electrician, they added the word free like in front of it, you obviously wouldn't want to show for that, but Google would be showing your ads for literally anything with any words around these keywords in any order, mix and match, and it's a easy way to spend a ton of money on Google Ads without getting anything back. So never use the broad match unless you want to run a tiny campaign to get some keywords ideas, but generally you should using your head, you should be able to see what people do search for. So generally, once you picked out all your keywords, you're going to want to change this, and you're going to want to add one of these little symbols just before and after each keyword, which, as you can see, we'll just do this quickly. And what this will do is Google will then see that each of these keywords you're targeting, you only want them to show up as phrase matching. So it basically means that people can add some keywords after or some keywords before, but this can't be changed. It has to have these keywords entered. So some customer has to have 24-hour electrician. It then could have like near me after, for example, but generally that's what you want to stick with. And you do also have exact match here, which basically you'll just put one of the closing brackets on instead of these. And what that will do is that means only your ads will only show for that exact keyword, and whether they put in free after or cheap or Bournemouth, they won't show. It'll be for only 24-hour electrician. So I hope that makes sense. Those are the 3 types of keywords you can have. We're going to go with these to start with. Let's go save and continue. So final URL, obviously we're going to want to leave this on the home page for now, but we can change this later. For example, if you were running maybe a campaign just for plumbing, we may just take them straight to the plumbing page rather than have them go on the home page and then to the plumbing. But generally in this kind of industry, people want to go and find out who the company is first. So taking them to the home page is quite good for this one. They can see that they're a local company. So we'll leave it on that for now. So headlines. You are always, then this is where you're going to want to, going through the ad process, we're going to create 2 text ads and a responsive search ad. So I'll talk you through each of these. The 2 text ads are simply, we're going to create the headlines and the descriptions, and a responsive search ad is basically we're going to enter a ton of different headings and a ton of different descriptions. And what Google will do is, if it decides to run the responsive ad, depending on what the customer typed in, they will mix and match headlines automatically, saving you having to create 10, 20, 30 different ads with all the different description variations. They will just mix and match it together. But the best way to do it is to create 2 nice looking ads that you are very happy with in terms of your headlines and descriptions, and then create a responsive search ad. So let's go ahead and create our first text ad. So let's go with something like fast response electrician. And then we're going to go with maybe local callouts, and then we might go NICEIC approved. There we go. So that's, you can see a nice little preview of how your ad would look over here. You can obviously go through the previews and it'll show you it on desktop and a mobile. Display path. Now you can always change this. So maybe you might want them to look like they're going to maybe, so let's say you're out of the city. But you're targeting Bournemouth, but say that the company isn't in Bournemouth, maybe you're in Southampton or London or wherever. You could create obviously another page for Bournemouth, and you could just have the display URL just looking like Bournemouth, just to make it look even more. So when someone's going down the list of ads, they'll see that as well and be like, oh, this company's definitely local. But for now, we'll just leave that as is. And then we're going to go the description. So let's come up with a nice description now. Let's have a look at what we have on their website. Right. So let's just take a bit of this. Let's create a nice description. So we are a trusted and professional electrical, plumbing and heating company. As we're only targeted the emergency electricians, let's get rid of that. So we'll go with, we're a trusted and professional electrical company based in Bournemouth. Brilliant. And let's get rid of that. Cool. Just within the time limits. You got the keyword in there. People will then see Bournemouth, and we're only targeting the people in Bournemouth. So it's more of these keywords to make people see you're definitely from that place. And then we can do now, get in touch for a free quotation, or for emergency callouts. There we go. We'll leave something basic like that. This can obviously be changed based on your company, your information, but that's kind of like a very basic way to do an ad. So you'll click done in creating the next ad. It'll keep some of this in as well, which is great. So you can re-go through this again. Let's go same day response, and then we'll go check a trade approved electricians. Oh, bit too many keywords there. So let's just go with check a trade approved. We'll put it in our third headline actually. So sometimes, only sometimes the third headline will show. So you want to make the headline 3 the least important out of the 3. Obviously it goes basically in order of importance. But yeah, generally a lot of the time only 1 and 2 will show. So we'll go same day response, and then we'll go Bournemouth based electricians. Wicked, just about fits. That looks really good. So then we can put need an emergency electrician. Our Bournemouth electricians are available to help. Are available to help. There we go. And then we can just put we can put you can trust us. No, let's go with we are check a trade and NICEIC approved. Call for a free quotation. Brilliant. That looks good. Let's go done and create next ad. So now we're going to do the responsive search ad. So this is basically, you can see it's picked out some headlines that I've already used and some of these descriptions. So I think you usually get around, maybe do around 10 headlines and then about 4 descriptions. So we can leave the descriptions as they are. And what you're going to want to do is in these headlines, we're going to want to come up with just as many different variations of keywords as possible. So let's just go with the basics, emergency electrician, and then we'll go with 24-hour electrician or electricians, and then we will go with maybe no call out fees, and then we can go with just trusted electricians, and then we can, yeah, and that works. Let's just go Bournemouth electricians, create a couple more. What you can do, if you've got a headline that you specifically want to keep in the ad, so no matter how much it mixes and matches it up, you want to keep it, what you're going to want to do is you'll have this little pin here. So let's say we want to keep, let's have a look now. Let's say we want to keep 24-hour electricians. We'll just hit the pin here and we'll keep it. So it says show this headline in any unpinned position. So we're going to keep this. So show this headline only in position 1. And it'll basically pin it so it'll only show that in that section here. So yeah, you can obviously go through this and pin anything you want, but generally I'll just leave them probably unpinned and let Google do the magic for you. Hit done, hit save and continue, and this will set up. This will basically complete your setup of your ads. Continue to the campaign. So this is where we now need to save a lot of your budget, which you're going to use. Come on, head over to keywords. Negative keywords. So in here, this is where we're going to want to add a ton of keywords that you don't want to show up for. So let's start going through it. So let's say you're a tradesman. You obviously don't want to be showing up for like anyone putting in free, or maybe not anyone who's being tight and you don't want to show up for someone putting in cheap. Let's do jobs, apprenticeships. We can go for this. Careers. You want to be, this is basically blocking off anyone that if they use these words, your ads won't show. So for an electrician company that wants to run ads for emergency call outs, you don't want to be showing for people that are looking for jobs, careers, or looking for free electrician work, or how to, or tutorials, guides, video guides, like instructions maybe. You don't want to be searching for people that are looking for that stuff because they're not going to convert or lead to anything. So once you've created your ton of your negative keywords for your business sector, obviously save that. And then we're going to just run down some more down here. So this is where you'll be able to see things like your ad schedule. So we can see we're just running it Monday to Sunday from 5:30 till near enough midnight. Obviously you can change this, however, based on your business. If you're an e-commerce, you may want to, just run after 4 p.m. So you want to catch people when they've come home from work, and then there's no point showing to people in the day. It might be wasting clicks. People might be looking at your products in the day and then they then got to go back off their shift, back into work. They've forgotten about your ad. You've wasted the click. Then they go home later in the evening and then they got to research you again. It's now cost you double clicks. So you just want to think about these things when creating your ads. Who's going to convert in that moment? What's the demographic, for example? Now with Google Ads, we can now add demographics in. They've not long added this in. This is more something that you would see on Facebook, for example, but you could block off. So let's say what we're going to do is maybe the majority of this electrician's customers are, let's say, female and they're homeowners. So we may as well cross off, exclude anyone that Google knows is 18 to 24 years old. Maybe we just exclude the unknown as well. And then maybe we take off 25 to 34 as well. And then, so we're kind of picking homeowners essentially. Maybe we will just want to get the older clientele that just don't want to be shopping around. They just want to get the electric work done. We've obviously got genders, so maybe we block off male and unknown as well. So now we're only targeting the ads for females, probably likely homeowners. Now we can obviously go deeper into this, and you can target people that Google knows how much they earn, but this household income section isn't down to a T yet. The Google doesn't have enough information on everyone to be able to get this correct. So I think if you start using this feature, you'll end up losing out to your ads. So for now, I would maybe only touch age and gender. Maybe if you're targeting a games company, let's say, I don't know, maybe you're opening up an arcade, you definitely only want to be targeting males, probably most likely of under 34. So that's where it works really well. But obviously, if you're running quite an open, broad business, it could be of male, female, of all ages. So that's just for you to come up with yourself. You've got your keywords in here. These, as you can see, these are all phrase matched. If you didn't understand the difference between the phrase match and the broad match and the exact match, let's say you skip the step where I added in the little speech bubbles, and you just added the keywords as normal, you can always click on here and go edit and go change match types, and you can just change them from your broad match to either exact or phrase, and that will just do it for you. So that's a quick way of doing it there as well. You can obviously change the final URLs per keyword as well, but generally with your ads, unless it's something really, really targeted, that won't be needed. And that's kind of it really. So you've added in the campaign, you've created your campaign, you've created your ad group, you've added your keywords, you've set up your budgets now, your ads are looking fire. If you want to obviously add in more ads, you can obviously come down to your ads and extensions here. And this is where you'll be able to see your ads running. These are all under review. Give Google about a day or two and they will approve it. And then they'll be running, and Google will automatically keep mixing these and rotating them around just for them to work. If you want to obviously create more ads, you're more than welcome to. You've got the choice of a normal text ad like we did, another responsive ad, or even a call ad. So maybe a call ad, you will only show up on a mobile and they will literally have a call button underneath. And when they click it, it will literally just call. So that works quite well, but you do pay more cost per click for call ads, because generally Google believes that you are getting the sale directly rather than a normal text ad or a responsive ad. They might click on you and then click off. So Google is kind of, you may get more leads, but it will cost you more. But that's something for you to decide. Again, with extensions as well, depending on the business you want to run, you could there's so many more different extensions. If you're doing maybe a shopping ad, or maybe you want to show the price of a call out, £60 an hour, maybe you could add that in as well. But generally I would stick to definitely doing the site link extensions, definitely doing call out extensions, doing a structured snippet extension with like your services that you do, and your call extension, and then anything else is kind of based on your needs per project. So yeah, that's kind of it really. So you would now leave your ads to do, give them a day or two to run, and then to be approved, and then I would probably leave the ads for a week or so, give them time to build up on Google, get some impressions, get some clicks, and then you'll then be able to come back in and see how much you've spent. And then over time you'll then be able to work out whether some keywords are too expensive, some are cheap. Let's say the emergency electricians is really cheap, but the 24-hour electrician ends up being expensive. It will show you your average cost per click here. You could just pause that one keyword, and then basically you only want to keep on the keywords which are inexpensive, or at least which profit back to you. So yeah, leave the AdWords running for a few weeks to a month, then you'll have some real good data on it. And then once you are done, you can then look in another video that we're planning on doing next, which will be about conversion tracking. If there's not a video there already, just Google and YouTube search another one on how to set up conversion tracking based on your website. So whether you've got a WordPress site or a Wix website, and then once you have conversion tracking set up in your Google Ads, you'll be then able to come over to the columns and you'll be able to just go and have a look through these here. So you'll be able to see like your conversions, for example. And let's just apply these in here. You'll be able to fill up how many different columns of different information you want, and eventually you'll be able to see how many conversions that individual keyword made and the cost per conversion. Once you've done all that, you'll be able to then go to your settings for your campaign, and you'll then be able to change up your bidding to obviously to aim for conversions. But until that moment, you just want to leave it on the maximizing clicks for now, so you're getting the least traffic. And yeah, that's kind of like a quick overview on setting up your Google Ads. Obviously, if you have any questions, guys, leave a comment below and I'll be happy to help you. I know this Google Ads has changed a lot from the previous video, which we did back in 2016. So it kind of gives you an updated version on how all of this new system works. Yeah, if you have any questions, get back to me and I'll see you guys on the next one. All the best.